T podcast here with, gonna welcome everyone. This is the Richie T podcast. This is your boy Richie T. We'll be having Bryan Eckermann of Scars of the Flesh and Mythologic and many other projects that he is about. He'll be joining us here in a second. And there he is right now. And let's welcome him in. There he is.
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, I got you. Got you,
Okay.
man. Awesome, man. Hey, love the shirt, man. I love that. Slayer.
Thanks, man.
So how you been, man? And welcome everybody. Let me do a quick little intro again here. This is the Richie T podcast live on YouTube, and I am sitting with the man, Mr. Bryan Eckermann of Scars of the Flesh, Mythologic, in his own solo project. Uh, Man of many talents, man of many faces and bands. Great musical mind, and just here to catch up with him and see what's going on. So, what's going on, brother?
Hell yeah. Well, I hope some people are watching. Hello to everybody out there. And what's up, Richie? Good to see you as always.
Likewise, bro.
I mean, yeah, just some life stuff's been happening lately with day jobs. I've been switched day jobs, and now I'm doing two part-time jobs instead of one full-time. So hopefully that's a little better on my mental health.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, still working on new music of a new project. My friend Kedrick, who I think he commented on your post the other day, we got a little thing in the works. We're on like song number 10 already. It's kind of like we're getting the logo done. I don't want to reveal the name just yet, but it's a weird like combination of black metal, little industrial elements, some like
Mm.
crazy synth keyboards. It's very different, but I'm doing no guitars at all. Kedrick's doing all the guitars, and then he sends me songs with like guitar, bass, and lots of his own effects and some keyboards. And then I'm kind of like stripping it apart and then building drums, vocals, more keyboards, and just kind of like the arrangement stuff and mixing. So I'm going really hardcore into my vocal palette for this
No.
one, trying some new
Ah,
things, some clean vocals, a little bit of choir kind of stuff. It's going to be really cool. And
that's
then
cool.
also just a little bit of new Scars of the Flesh is in the works, but we've just had a hard time meeting up with one another because my schedule's like night shifts now.
Ah, okay. That's
But trying
cool,
to
man.
push
That's
some
cool.
new stuff on the way for that too.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I was gonna ask that, man, but you beat me to it, man. But that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, yeah, man, we're just gonna be jumping all over the place here. Hello to all of our viewers that are watching right now. I can see them on here. The Real Bell, Cuban Racer, Joseph Ahmad said hello. How y'all doing? We're good. We're doing some
What's up,
interview here
Joseph?
with we're here with Bryan with Scars of the Flesh and everything. So, man, like you said, man, you got all the things going on with all the bands that are going on and everything. And um, uh, do you get into like a space where you kind of like you're fiddling on the guitar at home or whatever, and you kind of determine uh, what area you want to go into, which band with, or or is it like a specific, uh, deep, specific way you want to go in your music?
I mean, it just depends. Like there have been times in the past where like I really don't have any vision and I'll just sit down and write some riffs and then somehow it turns into something later. I would say as of the last like year or two, I have been doing like a lot of concept albums. I just did that the Fall of Heaven album, which
Hmm.
was a lot of old tunes, but kind of a big thematic concept. And I did that album mainly because I'm putting on hold. My next solo album will be Return to Helmbrook.
Hmm.
So it's the sequel to 2016's Haunting at Helmbrook album.
Hmm.
And that's kind of like my masterpiece right there. But I've had it done for a while, but it has to come out next year because Haunting at Helmbrook came out in 2016, and this story takes place 10 years to the day
Hmm. Okay.
in the lyrics, so it has
Oh,
to
okay.
come out 10
Yeah.
years
Next.
later.
Yeah. 10 years
It
out.
just
Yeah.
makes sense. So it
Yeah.
kind of sucks
Okay.
that I've had it done and I'm just sitting on it, but it's going to be amazing. And that
I'm sure.
whole album, I had song titles, like ideas for the storyline, and I had written down a bunch of just basic song titles, maybe like 3 lines of a paragraph of like what I thought might be taking place in the story. And for that one, so I had all these visions in my head of the characters and where that
Mm,
story was going. So when I sat down to write that album, it was, I already had this mental vision of what the songs would sound like. So that was a way different process than like writing a Scars of the Flesh song. A lot of times we'll write together, me and Derek, throw riffs down, and then add the drums, and then Kobe comes over to do vocals. So there's a lot of different layers to
yeah.
a Scars of the Flesh song versus my own.
You're right.
But yeah, and then like with this new project with Kedrick, it's been a whole different process of me trying not to think guitar wise,
Hmm.
and just that's made it so much more interesting because it's something I haven't done before really.
Right. Right. Well, that sounds interesting, man. I've always wondered because I've always known of you being in many projects and stuff, and I've always wondered that where your head is going. Because you have so many different things going on, and what's your basic path, and that's interesting to know, man. That's
Yeah,
real cool.
it's crazy. What goes on up here, I don't even know sometimes. I could I'll be thinking about 3 different musical projects at the same time sometimes. So
Right. Right. Well, cheers, man, for being
yeah.
here, and
Cheers. Thanks for
let's
having
have.
me.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you again, man, and. Yeah, man. So we're kind of be jumping all over the place with these questions, man, and just having a good time with it. Uh,
Hell yeah.
why do you? Yeah. Why do you like to play music so much, man? What drives you to play music?
Uh, honestly, like looking back, I don't even really know how I got so deep into things. I guess when I was like around 17, 18, I started playing guitar, and that was also me getting into real like heavy metal, the basics to start with, just because that's all I was uh, aware of at the time was like Metallica, Megadeth, which grew into Testament, Iced Earth, Death, Hypocrisy. It just kept growing.
Yeah.
And as the veil disappears and you realize there's so much amazing music out there, all I wanted to do after, kind of finding my way on the guitar at first was learning some Metallica, Megadeth, stuff like that. But
Hmm.
once I knew basically how to play, like not very great, but I always wanted to just write my own songs. And my original band was called Blessed Agony, and that lasted from about the year 2000 to 2009. And it went through many different incarnations of our sound. And that whole ending of that band was kind of traumatic, and we were all went through a bad phase of drugs and all kinds of stuff, acting like rock stars when we were just going up on stage playing like shit. Our writing
Hmm.
kind of turned into shit, and all of our lives just kind of fell apart in the same way. So that was a wake up call for me. When that band ended, it was either give up, turn the corner, go do something else, or push ahead harder and more serious. And I feel like that's what we did with Wings of Abaddon, which was the next band that kind of me and Kobe and Joe from Blessed Agony went
Hmm.
on with a new drummer and just started a new band, new songs, new everything.
Yeah.
And during those years was like me always caring a lot about the performances. Like I didn't get super drunk before we played. I'd have just 1 or 2 beers, save the partying for after.
Yeah.
And a lot of the songwriting, that was the time when I started diving into doing my own studio, my own recordings. So when I would write songs, they would sound, I guess, a little more professional because I thought everything out ahead of time instead of us being just a jam band at practice and mashing things together that
Yeah.
didn't always go together. So, yeah, that was a whole turning point of which I think everything became more serious for me when I started recording myself. And then there was like lots of side projects and stuff growing that, and I became very interested in the producing, and I find that actually more fun than being in a band, like
Yeah.
actually writing the songs, producing them, like all the little nuances of the mix.
Yeah.
uh, that's the stuff I'm really passionate about. I think being older now, it's difficult to grind out the weekly practices and stuff, and then the live shows. Sometimes they're a whole lot of effort for little payback. So
Yeah.
I'm
That's
still
cool, man.
pushing along with that, but yeah, it's that gets a little frustrating at times, and I think the passion for me is more in the writing and recording, and I like releasing albums and music, so I think that's
That's
where it
cool.
kind of turned into like a more obsessive thing, and I get that way a little OCD, and once I latch onto an idea, it's
All
like
right.
I have to
We're
finish
all
it.
control. We're all control freaks in some way, man.
Yeah,
No, but that's cool, man. That's interesting. My last guest that I had on here last week, Hunter from Soothsayer, he's into the producing and everything as well, and he also plays with in his band as well, Soothsayer. And
yeah. I've heard of
he's a
that band. I don't
yeah,
really know what they sound like, but I've heard the name before,
yeah,
and look
they're
forward
more of a
to maybe jamming with them.
metalcore. Yeah, they're more of a metalcore kind of sound, and they're from Abilene, so they're good friends of the podcast and everything. So we've had them on
Oh yeah.
before. So yeah, man. Great answer. Let's see here. Uh, okay, here's kind of a weird one. The song you wish you could have wrote or cover.
Uh, I mean, I've covered some songs that I really love already.
Yeah.
The song that I mean, that's a really hard question, but I think a song that me and probably a lot of people in this world envy and wish we probably had wrote ourselves would be Death's "Voice of the Soul."
Oh, yeah,
That instrumental is
yeah,
just that's a peak that
yeah,
not too many musicians could ever claim to have written a song as amazing as that one is. I've never
yeah.
attempted to cover it myself. I think I actually have guitar tabs for it somewhere.
Right, right.
But that's just like, how do you make that any better than it already is?
Yeah, yeah. That's a great song, and I just recently saw that new documentary on Hulu, Into the Void series that they have
Mm.
on that, and they
I've
have
seen a few people post about that. I have not watched it yet. I
yeah,
think
and
Rob's Metalworks was saying that they caught a clip out of his
yeah, they got a little
Pantera
clip of
interview.
yeah, the Pantera, yeah, and then they
That's
did a
fucking
one they and they just did and I just saw the one with they did Chuck Schillinger his story on
yeah.
him, so that
I
was a
did watch
that
that death documentary.
yeah, that one's a
Uh,
good one too.
yeah, like a couple months ago, I watched that. Stayed up really late, and man, that just like hearing about all of that, and then the end was so sad,
Yeah,
obviously. But like watching the documentary and hearing them talk about his decline, and like how it's like he wanted to keep working on music, but his body was failing him,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that's so sad.
Yeah, he wanted to do it up until the very end, and he just
Yeah.
couldn't do it anymore. And but I dig, but I do love the fact that he wanted to go out on his own terms with a guitar in his hand, and just
Hmm.
be and wanted to get that Control Denied album out. That was his. I guess that was like his opus, if anything.
Yeah,
So
and I wish it could have seen the light of day. I don't think after this many years we ever
no,
have a hold
well,
other than those few little demos that came out.
yeah, but I
But
think they were saying on that one that I saw that the guy from More Sound, the head
yeah, Jim
engineer,
Morris. Yeah,
Jim Morris, yeah, he said he could try to get it out, but he would have to surgically do like piece
yeah,
by piece by piece kind of thing. So that's a challenge in itself, and I wish him luck on that.
and
That'd be
then
great.
sadly the vocalist has passed away as well. So
Yeah,
it's
now
like
that's
who
another.
would
Yeah,
sing on it?
yeah, right. Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, that'd be it. But it'd be awesome though. It'd be awesome. And
Hmm.
and speaking of people that are no longer with us, we just we also lost Ozzy, and
Yeah.
that was a big hit to the nuts right there for everybody in metal. So. And the only thing I wanted to ask you about Ozzy, Brian, was what are your first memories of Ozzy, and what was the first time you heard him, and was he a big influence in your music as well?
Oh yeah, like I can't really remember the first time I heard Ozzy, but I know like when I first started playing guitar, when I was like really into older Metallica and Megadeth, Ozzy was also right there. And I used to buy cassette tapes before I started buying CDs, and
Hmm.
I had especially the Randy Rhoads tribute album, the live
Yep.
one, and I had the
Hmm.
Live and Loud with Zach Wild,
Yeah.
and I used to listen to those over and over and over again. And I ended up buying the Randy Rhoads tribute live one, the tab book, so I could learn some of his techniques and soloing patterns. And I think that did make an impact on me. Maybe like not as apparent because of the style of music I play versus
Yeah.
Ozzy's music, but I think that's there regardless. And I think every guitarist that Ozzy's had has been amazing.
Oh yeah.
Jakey
Yeah.
Lee was fantastic on Ultimate Sin is probably my
Yeah.
favorite Ozzy album.
Yeah. Yeah. I like. Well, Bark at the Moon was my first experience with
That's
Ozzy when I
great.
was, and my cousin John, he had it, and he showed me the cover of it, and I was like, oh shit, So just, I was a kid, but I was kind of like that, and so yeah, man, Ozzy meant a lot to a lot of people, and he will be missed. And yes, all of his guitar players have, from Sabbath to, hey, look at here,
Here's Abbott,
Abath. There you go.
named
uh,
after the immortal former
the
frontman.
immortal. There you go.
He looks just like him. He's always
Yep.
jumping on my lap, getting fur all over me.
There you go. No, man, that's cool, man. That's awesome. Good to hear. Let's see. What do you think of the like our music scene right now, man? Because there's been a lot of obviously Bonds is going away and has for the last couple months or so. Few and what else am I thinking here? I heard the mix is going away soon. Uh, and just like the music venues. I mean, I know it's a sad thing to talk about when we lose one, but I know there's also others that are popping up. And what do you think of the music scene here in San Antonio right now?
Yeah, I think it was the amp room that was
Mm.
I heard was closing, not the mix.
Oh, okay. I was
Bonds,
mistaken.
uh, yeah, and Bonds. I'm really hoping that the rumors I hear that they're going to get a new location. I
Hmm.
hope that's true because I did like playing at Bonds. The crowd was always cool, and I hope that that can thrive somewhere else. Or I know
Yeah.
it can. It's
Yeah.
just they just need to do it.
Right.
And overall, like the venue wise, we got Fitzgerald still, which is pretty cool. Um, in the mix, and Paper Tiger. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
never been the same to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Bring back the rabbit, man. Bring back the
yeah,
rabbit.
seriously. Like, why did they ever change it? And then it's
Right.
like it didn't just change in name; it changed in feel and like the
Yeah.
type of shows that they do there.
Right.
I feel like Rockbox kind of took over for what the Rabbit used to be.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, when it comes to venues, I think there's a gap that could be filled, and there's that Studio 210 now on Paramvital that
Yep. Been there many
I
times.
think
Yep.
could be great. It just needs a little work. It needs like a better soundboard and maybe just some soundproofing, acoustic paneling, or something. But it can be good if it just keeps going.
Right.
And I mean, other than venues, I think all the bands that I see out here pushing. I have tons of friends on my Facebook that are in other bands, and
Hmm.
uh, whether they know that I support them or not, I do. Like I support
Hmm.
everybody that's trying to do it, and I'll try
Right.
to throw likes on their posts. I may not always share everything, but I'm always making flyers for everybody and just doing my part to help. Uh, but yeah, I think there's a lot of great bands around here and in the
Yeah.
surrounding areas. that are
Right.
doing a really great job right now. So I think everything's still thriving just as much as it was, and it still is.
Okay.
And that will continue regardless of where we play at.
Right. Yeah, I'm really, I'm really glad I started this podcast because I was like, really wanting to get back into the music scene after, many years of being away from it and, life and having a family and all this stuff. And I've always wanted to be a part of it myself. And since I don't play music anymore, I used to play drums back in the day, but with some
Oh, hell yeah.
buddies of mine years ago. Um, but I always wanted to be a part of it, as far as that goes. And I know that, I fans reach out to me a lot and, hey, get me on your show. I'm like, hey, dude, you're more than welcome. If you have a voice, say something. You have music, play it. Just do your thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
I didn't know you played drums back in the day. You
yeah,
ever still play anymore?
I I dabble here and there. Just I go to like uh, the music places, the music stores, and I just jump on the electronic kits for a minute, and then I show my daughter a couple little tricks, and and
Hell
that's
yeah.
about it. And that's about. I haven't played in like an actual big acoustic set in years, so it's been a while. And I'm probably not that great anymore. I used to be pretty good, but
Yeah.
I'm getting old, man. The joints don't work anymore.
Oh, I feel that. Like honestly, when it comes to guitar playing, like unless we have a show coming up or I am actively like recording something, I really don't pick up the guitar a whole lot like just for jamming and having fun anymore. It's been like 25 years of playing guitar, so like I can pretty much do whatever I want to do on the guitar. Yeah, I'm not the best shredder in the world, but I think I found my sound a long time ago, and I've kind of in my own mind perfected my sound. So whatever's in my head, I can make come out regardless of whether I played a month ago or yesterday.
Mhm.
And I, but yeah, it's like when it comes to just day to day practicing, I don't do that much anymore.
Right. Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah. All right, man. Let's see here. All right, it's time for our little game show now that I call "In Your Opinion," and these are just a little funny little things that I put together, and just want to know which is better, either or, kind of thing. So, guitar, best model, Jackson or ESP?
I'm gonna have to go Jackson there. I own several Jacksons.
I knew
Love
that.
my Rhodes V's. Yeah.
I knew that. Horror movie, Freddy or Jason?
I'm particular to the Freddy movies. I own all of them. Jason movies I don't dislike, but I can't say I own a single one of them.
Yeah.
And the most memorable one to me was the one where he was like in space.
Jason
I don't
X.
even remember Jason X. That's the one.
I had that on DVD for some.
Freddy versus Jason was cool too,
Freddy,
though.
yeah,
It
Freddy
had
with
great
Jason was
soundtrack
good.
back in the day.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. All right, old school thrash here. Metallica or Megadeth?
Oh, Megadeth, of course.
Megadeth. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I love some old Metallica, but they hands down Megadeth is they've earned the crown because even though they changed for a few albums, they still like nowadays that little snippet that came out, it sounds
Oh
like
yeah,
Megadeth,
yeah,
and I'm looking forward to the new album. The last two albums were pretty great. Dystopia was freaking amazing,
yeah. That was a good one.
and
Mhm.
like it just sounds like old Megadeth. I think even
Yeah.
if Metallica tried now, they cannot sound like old Metallica. Like James
Did
Hetfield's voice has is night and day different now, and he can't do the old voice anymore.
no, no. He's getting up there in age, and well, they all are. But
Yeah, and I feel
but
like Metallica's new stuff too, like it's great, but me being a producer, I can hear so much studio production in there, so much like snippets and edits and cutting and pasting where it sounds like they've lost a little bit of that old school life they had where they would just go
yeah,
in and beat the shit out of their instruments. Like
yeah,
now it's almost too polished,
Right.
and they could go with it being a little less serious about it, and not full Saint anger or anything,
Yeah.
but get a little more raw.
Right, right, right. Yeah, that would be up. Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of that, you know, 2 seasons of record was okay to me. I mean, I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And there were elements there that were still old school a little bit.
Hmm.
But I think, like you were saying about James's voice, it gets a little raspy here and there, and he can't sustain those high ish, mid ish ranges anymore like he used to. So I think
Yeah, I
I
feel
think he's.
like he's always trying to sing in whatever certain key now, and he never
Mhm.
just barks it out like he used to, not caring
Yeah.
if he's in tone.
Right.
Sometimes that aggression is better. And
Yeah.
I feel like the writing on 72 Seasons, some songs had it to where all he had to do was just sound angry and sing the same pattern, the same words, but
Hmm.
he's just got to hit his notes now. He got that
Yeah.
so ingrained in his head when he learned how to
Yeah.
sing that he can't let it
Yeah.
go now.
Yeah. So, yeah, but they're still around, and thank God for them. They're still here for us in
I'll
some weird way.
still listen if they make more albums, for
Yeah.
sure.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Normally, I ask thrash or death, but I want to change this one up a little bit. Florida death metal or Norwegian black metal?
Mm. Those are two genres that I like both, but I
Hmm.
don't think I listen to really a whole lot of either of the classic stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe like I did in the past, but I don't think I go back to it much anymore. I like a lot of the new bands that are coming out.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go with black metal, the
There you go.
Norwegian stuff.
Oh, all right. That sounds
But
good.
the Florida stuff's still cool too.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a I like the black metal stuff too, but uh, I mean my way of thinking is that brutal guttural shit that Florida
Hmm.
death metal brings, and like bands like Obituary and Deicide, Morbid Angel, those guys, those big three to me, they
Yeah.
pretty much stamped it. Deicide, you can probably make it a big four with that band as well. And to me, that sound is always going to be something that it's timeless to me. And the Norwegian black metal stuff,
Hmm.
you have your classics there as well with Mayhem and Immortal and all those other guys, right? And they have a place in the history as well in the metal thing. But I think
Yeah.
I lean toward the Florida stuff.
Deicide I really like, but like Morbid Angel, I had like a short period where I listened to them, and I can't get into it enough nowadays.
Hmm.
It's just a little too much for me. But
Right.
Deicide I still like. I like their. I don't know if it was their last album or the one before that, where
Hmm.
we got to when I was in Cerebral Desecration, I got to open for them on that tour, and that was really
Oh,
cool.
nice. Okay, that's cool. Hell yeah, hell yeah. I don't know if you're a big sports guy or not, but since it's football season, Cowboys or Texans?
I am a football guy, and
There you
yeah,
go.
Cowboys, but
Yeah, I know. I'm a
what are
Cowboy
we
fan.
supposed to expect?
Mhm.
Like, I
Yeah,
don't
new
even know anymore.
coach. Your best
The
defensive player
defense,
is gone. Defense stinks.
defense
Yeah,
sucks. They sucked
dude.
with Parsons anyway. I don't
Yeah, they
really.
did. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
kind of
that.
glad they got rid of him, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. I am too. He wasn't really bringing much to the table for me anymore. And
It was
I'm
his
just out.
attitude. Like I could see it when they started losing. Any game where
Mhm,
they started losing, he had this kind of pouty face. Like
mhm.
he didn't get any of the guys fired up. All he did was bring that like depression to the
Right,
sideline. And
right.
then it was like he didn't even try as hard. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we already lost the game.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that he's gone too. Yeah, that whole negative vibe is gone, but maybe that's going to change here in the next. Hopefully, it'll change in this season somewhere along the way. But I don't know. It's going to be a tough season. We're gonna ride
Yeah,
it out, I guess. So
yeah.
yeah, man.
I'll keep watching, but I'm not getting any hopes up.
Yeah,
Uh, we'll just have to see.
right, right. All right, man. Okay, old school metal here. Priest or Maiden?
Oh, Priest, 100%. I
Priest.
do
All
like
right.
Iron Maiden, but man, Judas Priest is actually like one of my all-time top favorite bands. I
Yeah,
freaking love Judas Priest.
yeah. Judas Priest, man. I lean toward Maiden a little bit, but I did see them both live before, and I have to give it to Maiden just by theatrics alone,
Hmm.
for their stage. But Judas, man, I mean, Rob can still, do
Yeah.
that
See,
that.
I think Iron Maiden needs to make the choice that Judas Priest did, though, or when they went with Andy Sneap, to
Hmm.
get the good nowadays production.
Hmm.
And some might not agree with me on that. Some might say, oh, they need to sound classic still, whatever. But that's the problem with Iron Maiden to me is all their albums just sound dull and like not great recorded. It almost sounds like they're in a practice space just jamming.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think the last one I really loved from Maiden was Brave New World, and that
Mm.
album's got some solid production
Oh yeah,
and lots of layers, lots of
yeah,
things going on.
yeah.
And just these last few have been just like almost like the same problem Metallica has. They're like overblown, way too long, too many long songs, and you wait like 8 to 9 years to get the album. It's like you wrote 2 albums worth of shit. Why didn't you just give us one halfway through and make it into two?
Right, right, right. Take a page out of Exodus, man. That's what they're
Yeah,
doing. They're putting out 2 albums within the next few years. So
yeah.
and
I mean,
they're recording, and it's pretty much done already. So we can't wait for that
that's.
band to come out. So
I'm a
that would
little
be cool.
sad that what's his name, Zetro, got
Yeah,
fired. I liked his
yeah,
voice.
yeah.
Uh,
Zetro was good. He was good. I mean, that's who I grew up with. Listen, when I
yeah,
first heard Exodus was Zetro, but I think Rob Dukes, he
yeah.
brings more of a brutality to it in a sense, but that's just me. That's just me being a
Yeah,
biased fan, I
they
guess. But
definitely are a little more brutal with him, I'd say. And
yeah,
I did. I think upon that announcement that they fired him, I went back and spun those Duke's albums again,
yeah,
and I didn't dislike them by any means, and I'm totally looking forward to the new one. But
yeah,
uh, Zetro just has that like
yeah,
that raspiness that's so
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, to me, he was a perfect fit after Bailoff left. I mean, when Bailoff was fired or whatever,
Hmm.
but that was his replacement. Uh, but then I think they went, the rest of the band went on with Dukes, and they just brought a more of a brutal sound to those
Yeah,
albums.
with the
And I did
shovel-headed kill machine or something like
Shove
that.
It, yeah, that one and the Atrocity something Exhibit
Oh,
A
there's
and
like two
B.
atrocity
Yeah,
albums.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So A and B were pretty good too, and then well, hell, even the remake of the Bonded by Blood, was good to me.
You know, that's I think I keep forgetting to listen to that. Like I put it on one time and then I get distracted and I
Yeah,
just forget to go back to it. But I don't think I've actually ever heard it all the way through.
yeah. I play that one quite a bit, and it's in my rotation quite a bit. So
Yeah.
I hear it, and when you hear Strike of the Beast, dude, that's
I
where.
might have to spend that later tonight.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
that you reminded me.
Give it a listen. Yeah, definitely. All right, man. Car. Well, I should say trucks. Ford or Chevy,
I've never owned a truck in my life, so
or car.
I have a Chevy car right now that was quite a piece of shit to me the last few years. So I'll just go Ford just because.
Just because.
Just because.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Chevy guy. My dad drove Chevys for many years, and I got to drive Fords for work. Ford minivans, my vans
Oh
for
yeah.
work, and they're just terrible to me. The giddy up on them or not get it's not getting up.
Uh,
Those horses are dying in that engine, man. Every time
oh
I
my
hit
god.
it, those Mustangs are dying quickly.
Oh my god.
All right, last one, man, and you better get this one right. Richie T podcast or Joe Rogan?
Oh, Richie T. Of course.
Of course, man.
Uh, yeah,
That's
Joe Rogan. I think I've had some friends that had his stuff on, uh, and I overheard some of it, but I've just not really been a big fan of it.
Yeah, Joe. I mean, I like his podcast sometimes. I'll tune into one where if he has a good guest on, like a musical guest, like he's interviewed Hetfield, he's Mustaine. He talks a lot of the old school shit, but once he starts going down that, and he has every right to, it's his damn show. But once you start getting into that political stuff, I just kind of like toss
Yeah,
it
it's that
aside.
I don't.
You know.
Yeah, as much as all that's going on right now, especially
Yeah,
like I don't want to
yeah.
be
I
a
don't.
part of the
Yeah,
argument.
neither do I. That's
I don't think either side is good. Like
no.
we're fucked either way. So
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, man. So it's pretty much I let that ship sail off into the sunset. Every time that
hmm.
subject comes up. So I really don't care for it. But anyway, Brian, hey, thank you, man, again, man, for coming on, dude, and I appreciate you taking some time with me
Of
and
course.
having a good time here. When's your next show coming up? Do you have a new show coming out pretty soon?
We do. Let me see. I don't know exactly. I guess I don't have flyers for the next ones. I know we have something in November with Scars, and then a possible kind of tour thing coming in December, and I think that's about it right now.
Okay.
Um, just gonna kind of take it easy probably next month. Hopefully go see some shows because I haven't been able to do that as much now
Yeah.
that I'm also working night shift, and we did have kind of a little bit of a busy Scars schedule.
Hmm.
So asking for days off, it's like I can't do that for just fun nights and go see my bros a lot of times anymore.
Oh yeah.
I'm there in
Yeah.
I'm there in spirit, but I wish I
Yeah.
could be there.
Yeah, I got a lot of things on my plate too with work and
Yeah.
my little one's turning 10 on Sunday, so big weekend for us this weekend, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to get up to shows more and I got one more question for you. Where's Krusty?
He's chilling. Let me go dig him out. He hasn't made an appearance in a while.
And just to give a little bit of background on Krusty, Scars was on this year. This I forget what month it was, and Krusty is Brian's good friend here, and hopefully he's
He likes to do cocaine though,
yeah,
and other. He likes strippers.
yeah.
He likes alcohol. He likes to steal money. We sent him to rehab, and he's back.
All right, well,
But
good for you, Krusty,
yeah,
man. Keep it.
we've been keeping him out of trouble and just letting him lay low. But I have a
Yeah,
feeling that he's been sneaking out at night, so we might
might have to put a.
yeah, we might see what he's up to soon.
You're gonna have to put him on probation with one of them ankle monitors or something.
Put an ankle monitor on his friggin' lobster tail.
Right, right, right. Nah, man, when you were posting pictures about on that entire tour, dude, I was laughing my ass off every time you were.
I'm glad, man.
That was the
I thought
greatest
it was
fucking thing I
funny.
saw. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
the joke, man. It was
and
funny
it's
and all the
like,
little
I
situations.
mean, we had a lot of time on our hands. We're driving
Yeah,
across states, and it was like just something to have fun and pass the time. And
yeah, that was
no
awesome, man.
no actual drugs were done on the
No,
tour,
yeah,
but
yeah,
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 we had to try to
yeah.
keep him in line.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Well, thanks again, man. And one more thing, man. You know how we do it here on the show, man. If you have any shout outs to your family, friends, fans, let them know, man. And say thanks and thank you once again, dude.
Oh, I'd like to thank my wife. She's in the other room, probably cracking up to us. Uh, but she's always, you know, respectful of my passions and never gives me shit and is just awesome, like 100%. So always thank her first. And she almost broke her toe coming out here to laugh
I
earlier.
heard
So
her.
yeah, and I want to thank you, Richie, for having me on. I thank everybody who's jammed any of my music: Blessed Agony, Wings of Abaddon, Scars of the Flesh, Mythologic, my solo stuff, Desert Beast. That's a new one that just one song came out, but we might have some more for you. Me
All
and my
right.
buddy Jay. Um, and also Kedrick with me and our new project. You guys are going to hear that probably sooner than anything, just
Okay.
because we've been on a roll with that.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I want to thank all my bandmates in every project, and you know, just anybody who's ever supported me and giving me a platform. Like I want to thank Rob's Metalworks. He's also
Yeah.
always been
Big,
a big
big shout out to
supporter,
Rob.
and
Yep.
yeah, big shout out to Rob. And yeah, just I'm sure I'm forgetting a ton of people, but thank you everybody for always being there with me along my long ass journey and of many albums and songs. It hopefully will continue.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, until the next time.
All right, man. Well, thank you again, Brian, man. I appreciate it again, and hopefully we'll run into each other again soon, man, at the show, and we'll have a beer or two, and we'll enjoy some music together.
Oh yeah, man. I got first round next time. And
All righty, brother.
after the next release comes out, we can chat again if you like.
Sounds like a plan to me. All right, brother. Thank you again, man.
All
Have a
right,
good
dude.
night, and
You
thank you
too.
everybody for watching and giving the likes. I've been seeing a lot of comments and stuff. It's been really cool, and thank you again for everybody that watched. And go out and support Brian and all of his projects, and support this podcast. Hit the like and subscribe button. And if you want to know more about your local metal bands from not only San Antonio but from all over the state of Texas, I'm your guy Richie T, and thank you again for watching. And have a good night, everybody. That's all. Bye, Krusty.